Hello. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of seasonal cleansing. And it's a transition from summer to autumn time. Exactly what's happening in the nature is happening inside our body as well. So if you think about it, our body is transitioning from this full blown activity, going out and being outside, to hibernation and preparing to be in kind of sleep mode, where the days become much shorter and the nights become longer, and our body rejuvenates and recuperates with that time. What hap- in Ayurvedic, from Ayurvedic perspective, what happens is that um, summer is the season of high pitta. Pitta is aggravated, and vata is accumulating. So in autumn, early autumn, vata is aggravated. And along with aggravated vata, the symptoms that we may be experiencing is this unsettled feeling, mood swings, low level anxiety, sleeplessness, mm, racing thoughts, and being just unsettled and ungrounded. And there is some kind of something in our body which we can't really um, pinpoint, but something is happening and we can't tell the doctor, oh, I'm feeling unwell, but you don't really have any particular imbalance that they can say, okay, so they can't diagnose it, but you feel that something is not right. And that's how our body is just transitioning from one stage into another. And what happens during this stage is that our immunity dips. It's, if you imagine that you need to do a big preparation in the house, yeah, like you change everything, you change your wardrobe, your clothes, um, you change how you behaved in the summer to how you're going to be in the autumn. You may be taking the warmer clothes out, preparing your wardrobe, doing the things around, preparing to be like more cozy and warm. And it's a big transition. So with that, with this big change, as our body needs to prepare for this shift, our immunity generally dips, and we are more susceptible to getting a really like any kind of flu or any kind of disease. So that's why it's really important to give our body some time to adjust. And the best way to do it is doing a seasonal cleanse, because this allows this rest for the body where it doesn't have to think about digesting more things, but it can actually really prepare for the big transition that is going to happen. I think, Sam, if you want to talk about more about that. Sam, you're not audible. I think you are now. No, not yet.
Is that better?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, my battery went on my computer, so I had to swap the mics. Yeah, I think you just touched on something really important there when we talked about giving digestion a break, because what we don't actually realize a lot of the time is that it's not just the food we're digesting, it's everything that we're taking in from our senses. So, sensory overload also affects our body, what we're listening to, what we're watching, the things that we're doing every day, like we're constantly on the go. That's all affecting our body, and it can bring our body out of balance. So when we talk about digestion, we're not just talking about the food, we're talking about everything that we're digesting. And what a seasonal cleanse allows us to do is to simplify everything. So we simplify the foods that we're taking in, we simplify the activities that we're doing, and we just really just focus on creating more spaciousness in our physical form and also in our life. And that is just a wonderful thing to do at this time of year. As Maria said, as the Vata dosha, as that dosha which is prone to irregularity, and also the dosha that can easily get out of balance if it connects with our nervous system. She talked about anxiety and this feeling of like ungroundedness. So what a cleanse does at this time of year is is it just nourishes all your senses. It nourishes your body. It nourishes your nervous system. Yes, we are lightening up on food and giving our digestive system a break, but we're also looking at all the other aspects that we need to address in order to stay grounded and really prepare our body for the wintering that's coming ahead. So yeah, I really love that. Because the other thing as well is, as we get older, our digestion also changes, and you may well have noticed this in your own body. You know, as we hit, if we're going through menopause or we're sort of getting into our later years. I mean, I'm 50 at the moment. I noticed that my digestive system slowed down, my metabolism slowed down. It's very easy for me to gain weight, and so and really that's just my system is just overloaded, as is most people's systems here in the West. You know, we're not only having really busy lives, but we're also like maybe eating foods that are not necessarily compatible. We might not be changing the foods we're eating from summer into autumn into winter, and that's not compatible with our body. And so a seasonal cleanse is a really helpful tool in weight management as well, I find.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite ones because I already shared before that I'm such a foodie and my family is predisposed to weight gain. So there is obesity in my family. And I think seasonal cleanse is one of the things which really, in a very gentle way, helps to come to this good weight, your ideal weight, but in a nourishing way, because many cleanses, what they do is like kind of starvation and then creating a yo-yo effect. So when you think from the just diet perspective, like, okay, so I don't like my weight, so I will go and starve. It's not really a cleanse. It's not what the cleanse does, and it's not what it's meant to do. Because what happens, and many people get it wrong, they go and they starve themselves and they craving in their head, they keep craving all that food. And as soon as their detox is over, they're back to the weight they like, they go back to what they used to do. And that results in having even more weight on, because while you were cleansing, the digestive fire has diminished, and nobody is thinking about like this gentle transition from not eating anything to again eating a lot. And that's where this extra weight gain starts. And that's not what the detox is about. Detox is about going to simplicity and excluding some things for some very controlled amount of time to allow the body to actually become the best, like the healthiest version of yourself. And then transition back to your normality, but with tips and with knowledge so that you can then stay healthy and not gain extra weight during that time. But then we obviously suggest 2 cleanses for healthy people. 1 to 2 cleanses a year is ideal.
Yeah, because we need to look after our liver, don't we? I mean, the other really important thing is to remember that, especially as we're getting, I know I keep referring to getting older, but what's happening is this: the vessel that we're in has an innate ability to heal itself. Our bodies are these amazing machines, but we have to support it. You know, when we're younger, maybe not so much, but as we get older, there's a lot more debris floating in our system. It's much more difficult for our body to renew cells, renew healthy cells. And what it needs a lot of support from us. And a seasonal cleanse is just a really simple, easy way to do that. Like 2 cleanses a year, and you know that you've given your body the break it needs in order for the detox pathways to be refreshed, for everything to be flowing again as it should be removing any stagnancy in the body, etc. I mean, our liver has to cope with a lot, especially with all the toxins that are in our environment, in our food, in our life, in the stress that we carry every day. It's filtering out a lot in our system. So really, this cleanse is there to support the liver and the detox pathways.
Absolutely. I really love that you mentioned that, because even if you're generally eating super healthy and you don't eat any crisps, you don't have any alcohol, you are like completely perfect in your diet. Well, the question is who does, but even if
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
that, who does? I mean, I don't do that. I also have some pizzas, crisps, and some wine. So, and that's normal. That's okay. But what you need even if they're super healthy, just because of the environmental changes and the pollution and pesticides in our food, the body still needs that cleanse. But if you're not, then more so, because your liver is overloaded. And with age, it starts becoming really, it has an innate capacity to rejuvenate. And liver it has been shown in studies how quickly it can regrow itself after surgeries. It's got such an amazing capacity to heal itself. But what we need to do is give it a chance to do so. And if, for example, if you have some uh, darker spots on your body, that's a good sign that your liver needs that detox. And that happens normally with age. It's a sign that your liver is in the overload mode. And if you regularly cleanse your detox pathways, your body is going to be so much more vibrant. You will feel that energy, you will feel the drive, you will feel young and vital in your body, no matter what your age is. And also, you will look and feel healthy, and your skin will look great, like everything will be on what happens on the inside happens on the is visible on the outside. So you will be able to see the effects of the cleanse through like clearer skin, through you will visually basically look healthy as well, nicer hair, everything will improve.
Yeah, I mean, the comments we usually get at the end of our cleanses from our clients are more energy. They're much more energized. I mean, it's a journey. So you start the cleanse on day 1 and you finish on day 10. So in between, there are dips. But by the end of the cleanse, most people are feeling super energized, much lighter in body, much clearer in mind, which is another great thing. They've incorporated some really amazing self-care rituals as well, because the cleanse is not just about food, like I said at the beginning. It's about nourishing all of the senses, pacifying the nervous system, and giving yourself a toolkit so that you can manage stress, so you can manage life in like a healthy way. So there's yoga, there's journaling, there is breath work, there is yoga nidra, there's all sorts of lovely things. So you're having these new experiences, which are very enriching. So although they're not enriching in terms of like food, they're nourishing and enriching on your nervous system and on your life as a whole. So people do tend to feel like they've learned something new, they've had a new experience. And I think also the Ayurvedic nutrition is just such a valuable thing to know. And that also gets taught during the cleanse. So there's a recipe book with all different healing spices in there and nutritious recipes that are light on digestion, but also very satisfying whole foods that don't leave you feeling hungry, but are not overwhelming to your digestive system. And really talking about Ayurvedic nutrition, the 6 tastes, and how that helps our body to digest, assimilate, and metabolize the foods that we take in.
Yes, I think one of my favorite things about the cleanse is that group support, because we together we hold this container for the group and we really take care of the people inside. And I think when you do it yourself the first time especially, it is very challenging, but we have support from other people, and you know that it's not just you, other people feel the same way, and you share and you support each other on the way to that healthier body. It's really great. So we do have live sessions where we open the call and we hold that group container and we open the session, we do journaling. It's really nourishing, and it's also you gain the friendships from the cleanse because you support each other, you really like feeling close. And then we also do energy healing through the cleanse. We teach, we answer questions, and I think it's just about this very supportive circle of like-minded people, which is absolutely great. I think that's one of my favorite points about the class. But we also do sessions like extra ones. So yoga, face yoga. I do face yoga as one of the sessions, which helps you not only feel rejuvenated from inside, but also have it more visibly on the outside for the face, which is rejuvenated, and the muscles, which are balanced. You really feel it. Uh, and it's a great taster session. And then there is also yoga nidra, which is deeply rejuvenating, and it's like yogic sleep, um, and it very much supports journey of detox or cleanse. And I think like my favorite comparison about the cleanse is that it's like cleansing your house. If you imagine that you lived in a house for a long time and you never cleared the stuff which you accumulated along the way, how will your house feel? It will feel congested. Even if you clean it regularly, it will just feel like everything is in the way, and it will be more and more difficult to cope with the cleansing process of the house, because every time you need to clean it, you will need to move things from one place into another and into another and into another. But that day that you take your time and you like move all the necessary stuff out of the way, you go, you donate all the stuff, you bin what is not needed, and you feel, oh my goodness, there's so much spaciousness. Exactly the same way we feel in our body.
Yeah, and also what happens, it's interesting you mentioned about the decluttering, because what we also find is that when you're in the cleansing process, that naturally happens, like in the house. So if you're in a house and you're cleansing, every single person, I've not known any single person that we've taken through the cleanses that has not felt the urge to start decluttering. And we're not talking about we don't encourage anybody to suddenly just declutter an entire house during the cleanse, because that's opposite to what we're trying to do. We're trying to introduce more rest, more simplicity, more spaciousness. But opening one drawer in the kitchen every day and tidying that out, and then before you know it, after 10 days, there's been a lot of decluttering. It's very good, because energy is stored in our stuff, isn't it? It's objects store energy. Our stuff accumulates, so it's actually really important to declutter at the same time. And just the last thing I wanted to mention, as we're talking about what makes a cleanse, our seasonal cleanse, so unique, and the importance of it, is from an Ayurvedic perspective. What we also introduce are key Ayurvedic diagnostic skills. So, for example, tongue analysis. That is, the tongue and the pulse are two of the main diagnostic tools in Ayurveda, and they are amazing tools. We teach how to read the tongue, how to analyze the tongue, and actually what happens is on the cleansing journey, you see the difference in your tongue every day. And as we start to detox our body, the toxins are coming out and they're showing up on the tongue. So you wake up in the morning and you can see the toxins on your tongue. They're like a white coating, and you can kind of see the journey that you're going through as you're cleansing. And then at the end, when you wake up, if your body's finished cleansing, then there won't be any white coating on the tongue, like a thick white coating on the tongue. So that's always really great for our clients to see, their journey when it comes to the diagnostics, and they'll learn that to be able to do it themselves.
I think it's so empowering as well. What you mentioned is just empowering you with knowledge, because you know more about the body. So you don't really need any anything from the outside. Okay, so that's what's going on. Like, my body is cleansing. Okay, so there's so much toxins or armor in my body, and we will teach you and guide you how to assess how much toxins you have, how to assess your health. You will have all the tools. You can also ask questions, so you will be empowered to be your own healer and to be your own doctor as well. We don't suggest that. You don't visit doctor, but like for the general everyday things, you will be much more grounded and calm about okay, that's what's going on. Okay, my body needs a cleanse, or my digestive fire needs a little bit of boosting. You will know those things, and you will be able to take better care about your health.
So thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed our video on the importance of seasonal cleansing. And if you're tempted by it and you'd like to join our seasonal cleanse, then you can find all the information on our website, www.magicalmedicine.com. And thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.